Welcome to part 3. So this one is for the ovulatory phase. So if you haven't seen my other 2 videos, I'm making tinctures for the entirety of the menstrual phase for cycle syncing. So if you're curious about any of those, you can go back and watch those. But as I said, this one is going to be for our ovulatory phase. Okay, so what I have in front of me for our ovulatory tincture, this is pomegranate. So this is the fruit with the seed and everything still in it, dried and ground up. You can usually find this in Southeast Asian and Middle Eastern grocery stores. I'm sure you can also find it online as well. The ones that I did myself, this is basil. So some dried basil, that's like sweet basil, Italian basil. I am sure that other varieties of basil would work as well, but I'm using, of course, what I have. This is nettle that I wildcrafted, harvested last year, dried. And this is some actually ground up rosemary. So I do buy this in bulk because I go through so much of it. And my rosemary bush actually died last year, which was a real shame. So I need to kind of replant some of that as well. All right, so I was totally stumbling over my words while I was doing it, but so I have all of my herbs in here with the vodka. I am using kind of the highest proof that I can get, at least in the local liquor store. And as I said in my other video, if you get into herbalism, yes, they will probably think that you're an alcoholic with all of the vodka that you buy in bulk, but such is the way of the world. So again, you want to, so the herbs were about here. We want it up a little bit. I like to give it a little bit of a swirl, a little bit of a stir, kind of make sure that it's all incorporated. I do that as well, kind of as I remember, probably once a week, maybe. I also try to give it a little bit of a stir. There is some debate about how long to leave things. Some people will say a few days, some people will say months. I usually tend to leave my tinctures for at least a month before I strain them. So that is my own personal way of doing it. I encourage you guys to experiment. You know, if you're doing things for yourself, if you're not doing it as like an actual practicing herbalist where you are selling things to people, try it out. See how it changes. Try doing it for a week. Try doing it for a month. Try doing it for 3 months. Try making like a batch and then actually kind of like leaving it for different like timelines. And honestly, when it comes to like measurements and things like that, I just kind of, again, do the folk method. I kind of wing it. I do have enough knowledge that I know what should be done in kind of roughly 1-to-1 ratios and what should maybe be a little bit higher. But again, read your books and experiment.